and a very good afternoon to you, Zwelinzima. What is your immediate reaction to these figures?
We are simply dismayed, and in fact, we are now speechless. We've been using every word from catastrophe to disaster to ticking bomb, powder keg. Nothing from the English have not been used by us to try and describe the unfolding absolute catastrophe that is visiting our country. The numbers we're speaking about today are the first of its kind. I mean, when we were hit by the crisis initially, we said that this is the first of its kind. When you look at the history of Statistics South Africa beginning to collect these statistics. Now we don't know what to say. This is the worst of the worst. But what we concerned more is the three categories. The fact that the youth unemployment is getting even worse. The women, black women, Notemba in particular, is getting much worse. And the unemployment of our people in the former Bantustanis is getting worse. We're holding position number 1 amongst industrializing countries when it comes to unemployment. We're holding position number 1 when it comes to youth unemployment. We're holding position number 1 with these levels of poverty in the economy, with 2/3 of our population now living below the poverty line. I mean, this is bound to be resulting into an implosion. We saw some glimpses of the implosion in July this year, and we may find ourselves exactly in the same situation again. And the unfortunate thing is that as we speak today in this country, if there was to be an implosion, we will all be in a crisis. There is no more Nelson Mandela with that legitimacy. There is no more an ANC of 1990. There is no more a Youth League of 1980. And there is no more a COSATU of 1980. We are on our own, and this is a very sad situation.
Let me ask you then, Zwelinzima, because clearly there's an indication that businesses are shedding staff and businesses are closing. There's lots of factories and that are affecting the labor force now. Unemployment definitely increasing is because businesses are shutting down, people are losing jobs. What's to be done? And this is a lot to do with the economic impact of COVID epidemic.
But also the fact that we saw these massive levels of instability. I mean, that economic sabotage that happened in Gauteng and KZN, its impact are still going to be costed in the third quarter of the labor force survey. You can just close your eyes and imagine what that will mean. We've made the following call, and we reiterated the calls. One, we have called on the government to put together a real monetary intervention. Not some nice talk about 500 billion rands that was never there. This requires urgent action to put together a stimulus package of more than 1 trillion rands to make sure that we save the firms and save the jobs. That's the first thing we need to do. The second thing we need to do is to restructure the economy immediately. Restructure it and turn it upside down and make it only based on meeting the most basic needs of our people, for jobs at the living wage, for housing, for public transport system, for food and food security, for clothing, and all of these basic needs that are there.
let's just let's leave it there for now. And of course, there's a lot more discussion that needs to happen regarding these figures of unemployment. But thank you for your time, and that's all we have time for at the moment. Thank you very much. And of course, that is the Secretary General of the South African Federation of Trade Unions, Zwelinzima Vavi.